Welcome to another episode of Revise Enterprise. Today we're going to be having a look at a few questions related to break-even. So specifically looking at the margin of safety and its effect on the break-even point. So this is part of the BTEC Enterprise Level 1 and 2 from Pearson course. And what we're going to help you to do today is, if you're in an exam situation, try and get you guys 3 out of 3 marks on these 2 questions. So let's have a look at them together and see if we can work through them. So it says the margin of safety is calculated by using this formula: number of sales minus the break-even point. Now it tells you in the question, if we read it together, it says using the break-even figure from your chart in B1, which was just in the previous page, calculate the margin of safety if Olympian Cinema sells 300 frozen drinks. So essentially what the margin of safety is how many sales can the enterprise afford to lose before it goes back to our break-even point. Now we know from the question at the moment that Olympian Cinema Limited are currently operating at 300 frozen drinks. If we have a look at our previous question, and I made a little video for you on break-even charts a couple of weeks ago on Revise Enterprise, we worked out that the break-even point was 200 units for this particular business. So we worked it out that it was 200 currently, 200 units just to break even. So if we incorporate this into the question here, the number of sales is currently 300 units. So we're going to write down 300 to start with. And it wants you to do a minus the break-even point. Now we know from the previous question the break-even point is of course 200 units. So to work out our margin of safety, we simply do 300 units minus 200 units, which should give us an answer of 100 frozen drinks. So that's how many sales this particular enterprise, Olympian Cinema Limited, can afford to lose before they go back to their break-even point, which is 200 units. So let's have a look at a slightly more difficult question, this time a 2-marker. So remember, for 2 markers you're looking for a point for your first mark, and then for your second mark you're looking for an explanation. So it says Olympian Cinema Limited will receive a discount on future purchases of ingredients for frozen drinks from its supplier. So that's a good thing to start with. If they're receiving a discount on their ingredients for frozen drinks, that's going to of course lower their costs. So that's a really positive thing for the enterprise. It says explain one effect this discount will have on the break-even point for its frozen drinks. So if we have a look at the break-even chart again, we did this on the previous video, we made this together a couple of weeks ago. So the break-even point at the moment, as you see, is 200 units. Now if the enterprise receives a discount from the supplier, that's a good thing. What will happen to the total cost is they'll start to reduce. So you could see this figure here, the break-even point, go down to say, for example, 150 units. So it might go down by about 50 units, for example. So you can incorporate that into your question. It's a positive thing, this, yeah? So the effect it's going to have on a break-even point. So if we write P here for point, just so you can see where I'm writing my first mark, okay? So the point is, if we write the effect this discount will have on break-even point is that it will lower. Yeah. So first of all, you explain your point. So the effect this discount will have on break-even point, or on the break-even point is that it will be lower. Okay, that's our first mark in the bag. So the break-even point is going to be lower. Then I'm just going to write an E here so you can see it on your screen. So this is where we go into our explanation. So this is where we can write a connecting comment, all right, to get our second mark. So we're going to write this So the effect this discount will have on break-even point is that it will be lower. This means that the enterprise now has to sell less units in order to break even. Now, what I'm going to do in my highlighters is just make it even more clear for you where my point is here and my explanation. So the first effect, which is positive, is the effect the discount will have on the break-even point is for the enterprise now, the break-even point is going to be lower. We know the break-even point at the moment is 200 units. That might lower to, say, for example, 150 units. Okay. Then in my explanation, what I'm going to do to help you is just highlight this in green, a different color, just so you can see where we got our second mark from here. So our connecting comment where we're explaining is this means that the enterprise now has to sell less units, which is a positive thing, in order to break even. Okay, that's a valid answer on your exam, which is going to get you 2 marks in the bag with a point, first of all, and then an explanation, a connecting comment. I hope this video was really useful for you, and I hope it gave you a little bit more depth into break even and also margin of safety. And a little tip for you again, it's likely you'll get questions like this on break even on your assessment. So it's a really good idea to do a lot of revision in this area as well. I really hope you like the video, guys, and please like the video and subscribe to Revise Enterprise if you haven't done so already. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next educational video. Take care.